All right. So our next contestants were Sydney and Sloane.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Let me tell y'all something. I love it when The Voice does this. Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish is on the radio now, you all.
Currently.
Currently. Like it's a hit now. Like not
Currently.
it's been out for 6 months or whatever, but it's still very much on high rotation, as they say.
Now.
I love when The Voice does that.
Mm-hmm.
Over the seasons, I know at least we've been watching, they'll pull some Billy out, not
Yes.
old like new Billy.
New Billy.
They'll pull some Taylor out.
Right.
That's like not 2008, 2009 Taylor, like now Taylor, right?
Like 2020 Taylor.
Right, exactly. Um, so I love it when they do this. I said this song is like now is what I wrote. I said two lighter voices. And this what I liked in the I guess floatiness or lightness of their voices was their blend was impeccable.
Yes, it
They had
was.
an incredible blend. I said, I feel like Sydney and Sloan need to take their act on the road because I think that like they put two singers together whose voices are so similar and
Yeah.
have such a good mix and such a
Yeah.
good blend that they need to really think about forming a group. And I think I saw a comment where they were like, someone said something about how good their blend was.
Yes.
I feel like and this isn't a knock on them. I wanted a little bit more range. I wanted to see a little bit more range. Now that's the song, right?
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I needed more range for both of them to really make a good assessment as into who I would pick. I
Okay.
didn't feel like I love this song, but I just didn't feel like it showed off the voices enough for me.
Okay.
Um, again, I felt that both of these ladies were very humble when they
Mm-hmm.
sang. I thought they were both very selfless and let each others really um, sing. Bring out the best in each of the singer. The thing that blows my mind the most is that Sydney. I felt for a 15-year-old, she was very pro. I was shocked that she's the same age as my daughter, same age. Shocked. I was like, no, you're a pro. Like, no, and she even doesn't look like a teenager, right? She
Right.
even looks like a young 20 something. I
Yeah.
felt like she sang like that, and I felt like
Yeah.
she carried herself like that.
Yeah.
I felt Sydney was very pro.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt very pro, and like it was a let me check her birth certificate moment for me because
Right.
I thought she was that like ready for. I didn't feel teenager from her at all, and just the whole presentation.
Mm-hmm. So it was interesting because I felt like Sydney had a richer tone to her
Yeah,
voice,
sure.
whereas Sloane had more of a Zoe lightness twinkle to her voice. But I think that that's why their blend was so good because they both had something different to give, but they were able to blend it together to make like this gorgeous mix of vocal that yeah, they were really, you could tell they really worked hard on their harmonies to bring them together. Another big ear situation. I felt like Sloane looked a little bit more natural on the stage. I
Yeah.
felt like there were parts where Sydney looked a little bit more like she was newer to being on the stage. However, when Sydney came and did her, like when she opened the song in her
Yeah.
first verse,
Correct.
I was like,
Me too. Yeah. I was impressed.
ma'am, I was so impressed with her vocal and like throughout the rest of the song too. But for her voice to be the first one I heard, I was like, 15 what? 15 nah, ain't no 15. That's a strong 21-year-old voice. And then
Right.
Sloane came in and her tone again was just like light and twinkly, but really solid as well. Here's what I didn't like. I did not like the arrangement of this song.
Yeah,
It felt
it
so
was
disconjointed because there was percussion issues where like the percussion would like not be steady. It would be like dun, 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 dun. Like it just felt like nothing. There was no flow. It just felt like there was no flow to the song, and it actually distracted me.
mm,
Um, and I'm glad that I had time to listen and watch back on these performances because the first time I watched it, I was kind of distracted by the arrangement of it all. So
I
that's
think
where I stood.
the interesting thing about this song is it's so not what we expect from Billie. Like
Right,
when I
right,
first heard it, I was like, "That's Billie Eilish."
right.
It sounds like Billie Eilish doing Taylor Swift. That's how that song sounded to me when I first heard it.
Absolutely,
I mean, you
absolutely.
Billie, obviously, but
Hmm.
it's definitely a more poppy turn for her.
Yes, it is. It's got a
Yeah.
little two-step to it, which I
So
think that's why the arrangement was weird to me because I felt like I couldn't really two-step to it.
yeah, exactly. So
Hmm.
who did she wind up picking?
Before I tell you that, I will say that there were a couple times where initially I did not agree with Michael Bublé's reflections and feedback.
Okay.
This was actually one time when I went back, I did. He said that he felt like Sydney was a little bit nervous. So of course, sometimes as the show does, they edit the feedback to make you think that one thing is going to happen, and then the other thing happens.
Right.
So there were a lot of feedback where it looked favorable to Sloane. In the end, Gwen picked Sydney to go through.
Interesting.
But wait, when it came time for Sloane to say her bye byes, not one, not two, the other three coaches all pressed their button to steal her.
Wow. A
And
three
she,
steal?
three, and she chose to go with Michael Bublé.
That's good. Michael's gonna do really good for her voice. Like
Yeah.
we always say, Michael is a technician when it comes
Yes.
to vocal.
Yeah. I was very interested that that was one of the steals, though.
Yeah. That
Mm-hmm.
is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so Sydney said, yeah, I want Gwen to like really bring Sydney out.
Yes.
Because Sydney, again, I don't believe you're 15, young lady. I really
Nope.
don't. And that's a
Nope.
compliment. Like you're
Yes,
amazing.
it is.
Awesome.